No.
No.
I mean, throw E up on there real quick because
if that's the case,
damn. Is there even? It says that it changes the name of the show to the drill.
Yeah.
When they put you in there. All right. Because RJ won't use the camera.
Yeah, none of the other guys want to use the camera.
RJ's a handsome dude, man. There's nothing wrong with I think he doesn't want to be caught napping on camera, is what it is. I mean, if Denmark could be,
right? Yeah.
Why would he worry about it? Dylan was seemingly paying attention to nothing having to do with the program almost ever when he was on camera. It would happen every
now and then, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all good. And much love for our brother Dylan Denmark out there as well, selling his meats and cheeses by the roadside as he, big career move for him. So we wish him continued success with that. Tone, I guess the big news in the football world is the other style of football.
Yeah.
We call it soccer. They call it football. Flo Balogun, am I saying it right? Balogun?
Close enough. Yeah.
Is it what is it?
I don't know.
I'm thinking you know the pronunciation.
He's like, it's close. It's close. Yeah. But it's
like
not
I know
exact.
who we're talking about, so it's close enough.
Balogun. I think that's what, anyway.
Or O, I don't know.
I'm not tight enough to just go with Flo for him. We don't know each other like that.
Well, they don't call him that during the games. It's Balogun or Balogun. Like, I don't know which one it is.
I definitely was going to drop a Flo.
I thought you just said the same exact thing.
Balogun or Balogun.
Oh, Balogun or Balogun?
It's how they pronounce the O. Yeah.
Balogun. Just Bala. Like Bala, like a short A.
Yeah.
Would be the case. Anyway, he's allegedly playing tonight for the United States.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this turn of events with the red card upheld, then overturned? FIFA,
FIFA being FIFA.
FIFA known, or at least feels like, I can't cite you chapter and verse, but it's like the United States, or not the United States, the Olympic Committee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And never has a sports operating body been more accused of accepting bribes than like the Olympic Committee.
So much of what they do feels arbitrary. And this, because they did it, is going to feel arbitrary. I would say, like, from my perspective, when they gave out the red card when it happened, I was like, that's not a red card. Like, when I saw it, I was like, that's not a red card. And I was very upset that he wasn't going to be able to play in the round of 16 game. I think the right result has happened, right? Ultimately, that he's going to be allowed to play in the round of 16, but it's FIFA, so no one has to feel okay about anything that they do. Like, if the whole thing had been reversed, and this whole thing had been a Belgium player that had dealt with all this.
We'd be screaming bloody murder.
No, I would not.
You wouldn't? All right,
I would be looking at it saying, I thought it was a yellow card when it happened. I think the right thing has happened ultimately for the game is that guy would be available to play. It wouldn't bother me if they had done that kind of thing and flipped it on the U.S. I'm certainly not upset about him being available to play tonight for the U.S.
I feel like there's a mixed crowd. I don't know who's a soccer expert, who's not, who's a soccer enthusiast, whatever. I'm none of those things.
Sure.
I'm a United States of America enthusiast on the international stage. So
no doubt.
If we're playing, I'm going to root for them. But I had people trying to, you just don't know the game if you don't think that was a red card. Okay. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know the game. Well, now maybe you don't know the game because FIFA has determined that it is or isn't, and we're just going to suspend that. By the way, if it's like suspended for a year, right?
Yeah.
And so what does that mean? If he picks up a yellow card in some international friendly that he gets,
it would be added to whatever the punishment would be.
But it won't. Yeah. But obviously, in the next year, they don't play another World Cup. So who cares?
Right. Well, that's the same thing's happening with Ronaldo in Portugal right now. He had a 3-game suspension coming into the World Cup. He served one of them, and they overturned the last 2 so that he could play in the group play for Portugal in the World Cup. And his was an elbow to an opponent. And it wound up being a 3-game suspension. They gave him one of the 3 games and then said, go out and play, which, all these things you can feel about him however you want to feel about him. I'm certainly not a fan necessarily of FIFA, but I think the right result has happened with what happened with the foul ultimately. But, people are going to be upset or not upset about it as much as they want.
We'll get off this here in just a second. But is this a tainted outcome if the United States advances with the in part due to the efforts of my man Flo?
Not in my mind, but I can't change anybody else's mind.
I think it'll be perceived that way.
Absolutely.
Outside the United States, I think the United States doesn't care for the most part. I think 90% of U.S. soccer fans.
I think it would be viewed that way for any nation who got that kind of thing overturned and got a guy back. If they won, then everyone's going to be like, well, now nothing they do is legitimate. You know, from that point going forward in the tournament, I don't think the country necessarily has to be the biggest part of that, but the U.S. is the U.S.
I would like to beat Belgium without Balogun tonight.
I hope he scores 3 times.
Well,
I'm with you, Tony.
All right.
Like, I just want to win. I don't care how they win. Get it done.
I'm usually that way.
Yeah.
And look, in the end, I'm not going to root against the United States.
And I think he ought to be playing tonight. I thought it when the foul happened. I thought he ought to be able to play in the round of 16, but it wasn't.
And I agree with it. But then when it basically gets upheld at the end of the week, and they're like, no, this is what's going to happen. And then, you know, shenanigans happen after that. I don't know. It just it feels
they got it in their own rules that they could do this.
It feels a little
It's not
untoward.
like they created a new rule to limit it to, well, he missed the half the game that he did.
Then why do so many international soccer pundits so vehemently disagree with the decision?
Because it's new.
Okay. Just because the rule is, were they unaware that this was allowed to happen?
It's because, like, I think they're the same people that probably went nuts with the decision on the Ronaldo thing. Like, the same people that would have gone nuts about why are they going to let him play at all, right, in those group games. They probably felt that way about that, but we're not paying attention to what's going on with Ronaldo, you know, going into the tournament necessarily.
Certainly not.
Right. So now the situation is in our faces.
United States has played
on.
4 games, right?
Yes.
I forgot one of them was on.
Uh-huh.
So and
it's probably that third game
it was
that
the
didn't
Turkey
mean
game.
anything.
That
Yeah.
right, that one that didn't mean anything. So I've watched 3 total games. Hey, again, I hope you're enjoying the World Cup. A lot of people seem to be. I hope the United States wins. I like them to win without a significant contribution from Bal. I would, you know, like just to quiet the naysayers and whatever the case
Fine
may
if
be.
it worked out that way.
It'll happen tonight.
As long as it works out with a win.
Regardless of my desires, one way or the other.
Just
All
get
right.
one round further than Mexico and Canada, who are also hosting this tournament. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I didn't kind of like. It's natural to root against Mexico if you care at all about U.S. soccer,
Sure.
right? But they were the underdog in the match with England. But I don't know.
wanna
Man. Some
pull
people
for either of those.
thought it was great gamesmanship, like they're blasting music at the hotels and stuff.
Fireworks.
Like
Yeah, the night before.
I'm like, you know, I kind of like that. Kind of made me happy in a little extra that they took the L.
They kind of got
yesterday.
that rep anyway.
Yeah,
Mexico's kind of on the edge with their fans.
whatever the case. You see, John McClain wrote a little, just a tweet about it was vastly different. Stadium Azteca, right, is where they played last night. He went down there to cover the first NFL game. It was a preseason game between the Oilers and the Cowboys, 6-0. Said they had a moat, a literal moat, and armed guards surrounding the field.
It's a castle.
To protect the players from fan violence, like storming the field at that point in time. They had like it was over 110,000. I forget what the
it's
attendance
smaller
was.
now, but yeah, it used to be massive.
And apparently lawless.
Yeah.
Well, at
And
least
smoggy and high and
all
all. Like,
that
it was
good
a
stuff.
difficult
Mexico
place to
City.
go. Yeah.
It's not a place I have any desire to ever go to. I'll be honest with you right
Me either.
now. And just like, then again, I don't like to leave the old St. Augustine shores that much these days. Somebody took some kind of, I don't know, a sledgehammer. I don't know if it's the shores is replacing their sign. We have 2 main entrances to the area I live. He's been down there. Tony's been down there. And somebody just absolutely went ham on one of those signs and like sledgehammered it into rubble.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know, man.
And that could be one of 2 things.
What could it be?
1, they're replacing it. 2, these people are getting out of hand.
And see, I feel like it's the latter because they left like maybe a third of it is still there, and I feel like that would have all been taken out by this point in time. And I feel like you know, I don't even know if we pay anything to. Well, I'm sure we pay some kind of fee,
Part of the fee.
you know, to be part of the homeowners association. Like, get off my lawn, literally, people with your homeowners associations. Man, they came around once when we first moved in because we didn't have. I was getting a mower. But I had to wait. I had to go down and pick it up. It was at my mom's house and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, they came out, your grass is too long. I'm like, y'all are setting off on the wrong foot here. Let me tell you. Because I don't care what you say. All right? What are you going to do? Fine me? I'm not going to pay a fine because I haven't cut my grass because I don't have a mower yet. So anyway, happy days are here again. All right, Tony's back. E.T. is in for a special visit today. Today's Jaguars Today question of the day. What is the strongest position group on the 2026 Jacksonville Jaguars, okay? It's that simple. We'll get into that on the other side. Stream us on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. You can stream us on the apps, 1010XL 92.5. You can hit us up at 1010XL.com and, of course, on the radio dial as well. And on the socials, at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at I am E to the T.
Come on, somebody.
I remembered that one right off the top of my head, E. You're a man going places, let me tell you. All right, we're ready to go. Jaguars Today rolls on here. Tony Smith is back on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for DraftKings, live in all 50 states. Of course, that means right here in Florida. Win or go home. That is it. We're in the World Cup knockout round. DraftKings has you covered for every single match, including the big one coming up tonight. The DraftKings app now live in Florida. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or that late match at the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, and it's all in one app. Right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage, it's in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers, sign up with code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. It began with a dream.
Got my first job when I was 11. Worked every day since.
And turned into 1010XL.
Isn't that what American dream's all about?
This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling home and auto easy. Learn more at progressive.com. U.S. men's national team has been enjoying Seattle. Took in the 4th of July fireworks. Their coach, Mauricio Pochettino, throughout the first pitch of the Mariners game, and overjoyed with the news that came yesterday. No suspension for leading scorer Folarin Balogun despite the red card. U.S. and Belgium tonight in Seattle for the right to get to the quarterfinals. Up first, 3 Eastern in Dallas. It's Spain and Portugal. Brazil had reached the quarterfinals in 8 straight World Cups dating back to 1990. Not this year, upset by Norway, who will now take on England. Saturday in Miami, England withstood the altitude and withstood having to play the last 36 minutes with only 10 players. A 3-2 win over Mexico, 3 goals against a team that had not allowed any in its first 4 games. Mexico had only lost at Azteca Stadium twice ever. John Stashower, Westwood One Sports.
Progressive presents the Passionate Sports Fan Checklist. Signed jersey of your favorite bench warmer? Check. 14 bobbleheads that look nothing like the players they're emulating? Check. Twin TVs so you can watch the game on 2 different networks simultaneously? Check. Life-size wall sticker of your favorite player that routinely freaks you out at night? Check. A second life-size wall sticker so after the first one freaks you out, you see the second and you're like, oh right, the wall stickers. Check and mate. Bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive and save on protection for the things on your checklist. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers not available in all states or situations covered subject to policy terms.
When the moments in your life are too important to miss, you can trust O'Reilly Auto Parts to keep you and your plans on the road. Our professional parts people can test your vehicle's battery and even give it a charge if needed. In most cases, we can install your new battery for free. It's just one of the many services we provide at O'Reilly Auto Parts to ensure life's best moments don't find you stranded.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Jaguars today.
Looking for ways to save on your JEA bill? We're on it. When it comes to your utilities, the less you use, the more you can save. That's why JEA offers ways to help you manage your usage and avoid higher than expected bills. Use our online tools to monitor your usage throughout the month. Schedule a free irrigation or energy efficiency assessment and get personalized tips to save. And with JEA rebates, you can save when upgrading to more efficient equipment. Find more ways to save at JEA.com.
If you can't wait for kickoff, tip-off, or the first pitch, get your Gator fix anytime with a Gator podcast channel. Exclusive Florida Gator content from 1010XL. Set up by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $4,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Want to stretch that dollar? Taylor Doll here to help save you money with the Money Pages magazine and app. Trying to figure out dinner? Money Pages has deals at your favorite local restaurants. Need auto repairs or an oil change? Money Pages has coupons to help you save. Looking to do some home improvement projects? Money Pages has deals on everything home, from AC repair and plumbing to flooring and painting. Check your mailbox for Money Pages today and download the app for savings on the go.
There's no better time than now to buy your football season parking pass from Tailgaters. Complete with on-site restaurant, indoor restrooms, and all-day security. Tailgaters parking selling out. Log on to tailgatorsparking.com today.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars today. Tony Smith back in the fold. ET guest producing for today. Much to his surprise. He knew it was coming.
I would have figured it out. I'm like, hey, where were RJ at? And
yeah, we would have figured it out when we didn't get on the air.
I'd have been at my desk, and the update is going like, let me get in there real quick.
We appreciate you hanging out for an extra 2 hours with us today, Emmanuel Thalleran. Tone, we got a lot of things to dip into today, but with the excitement of your return, ET's return, albeit short-lived, we blew out that first segment clock a little bit there. So we got a little shorter segment right here. So rather than getting into some of the stuff we have planned for the meat of the program, which we'll do beginning in just a few minutes, I would like to highlight for you, I did my first redraft fantasy league of the year. In other words, not like people are familiar with fantasy. If you best ball leagues, you draft and you're done, right?
Yeah,
and
that's your team. It is what it is.
I've done a few of those. This is like a one-off league
where you're going to manage
the team like a typical fantasy league, like you'd have, like we do with our Jaguars Today leagues, which I'm sure we'll bring back 3 more of this year. So here is my quiz to you.
Oh,
okay. I need this is a league where you start 2 tight ends. Okay, so you start 2 running backs, 3 receivers, 2 tight ends, and a couple of extra flex positions. So you could end up starting 4 running backs, 5 receivers, 4 tight ends, any combination of them. I'd like you to tell me who the first 3 Jacksonville Jaguars that came off the board were and in what order. What do you got?
First 3 Jags.
First 3 Jaguars, yes.
Brian Thomas Jr.?
Brian Thomas Jr. went with the 3rd pick of round 6. Would he be the first Jaguar wide receiver that you would select?
I think so.
To me, it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
If I feel like I've got some really high floor receivers.
Right.
And I want the juice that Brian Thomas brings from a couple of 40-yard potential touchdowns in any given week.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. I'd probably go that way.
Yeah, I play enough leagues that I would split how split I am on that between leagues.
And it would be between
him
Brian Thomas and Parker.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Brian Thomas did go first at the 6'3". Who went next?
Is it not Parker?
I'm just asking you who went
Parker.
next. Parker. That is incorrect. See, that's why I told you this morning.
Yeah.
Basil Tootin went at the 6'5".
I know.
You forgot that, though,
No. I was thinking there would be one more before the 6'5", but okay.
No, Basil Tootin went with the 5th pick. So apparently the 6th round is where everyone wants to get in on Basil Tootin. I had the 2nd pick. I ended up with 3 Jaguars on my team. But I don't feel like I homered up because I didn't pick one until the 10th round. Okay? So anyway, Parker then went, and I'm sitting there in the 6th round.
Yeah.
Like, if Parker falls to me.
Especially if they have special teams points in there.
Yeah, you get, only if you get the full touchdown. Like, you could have the 2 touchdowns. You don't get anything for yardage or anything like that. So Parker went in the 6th round. Jacoby Myers, I had a chance to draft him. I passed out. I took Chris Godwin instead because I kind of felt like Godwin's always going to be on the field. He and Ibuka will be among the top 2 in Tampa. Whereas any given week, man, not all of these receivers are going to be able to eat every single week in the Jaguars offense.
Makes sense.
So going along and being a 2 tight end league in the 10th round, Brenton Strange was the next Jag off the board. Okay. Yep. He went with the 9th pick of round 10. And it was a little funny. I was on the air with the guys who were hosting the draft, and one of the hosts had taken Basil Tootin at the 6'5". And I'm like, I'll be honest with you, I would take Tootin ahead of Rodriguez. But by what degree? I don't know. Right. I said, well, this pick's for you. And with the 11th pick around 10, I took Chris Rodriguez, much to his chagrin. Yeah. Okay. So I got him at the 11th pick of the 10th round. Got Trevor Lawrence at the 11th pick of the 12th round, which I thought was phenomenal value. Honestly, if I could have one Jaguar player on my fantasy team this year, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. He's going to be the guy as the beneficiary of all these other weapons that they've got out there. Trying to think if another one went before. I took with the 2nd pick of round 15, I just took a flyer on Travis Hunter. I'm like, you know what? If there were a couple of injuries, nobody at this point in the draft had the potential upside of Travis Hunter.
Right.
But to be honest, because his role will primarily be on, at least we believe, more reps on defense and offense, it's going to be an inconsistent one. He's probably the first guy if I need, an injury replacement that might go to the waiver wire.
Yeah. There's really not any other name that I would consider all that fantasy relevant from the Jaguars' perspective.
No.
Like, LaQuint Allen could become a fantasy relevant player.
I say that. LaQuint Allen did get taken.
Huh.
And now that you mentioned that, he went 1 pick. I forgot because he wouldn't even be on my fantasy radar.
No.
He went 1 pick before Trevor Lawrence.
That's crazy.
What are you talking about?
That is madness.
What are you talking about here?
Like, that's somebody who is fully bought into the Jaguars have no plan at running back, right? Like, I can't explain that any other way, so why not take,
I guess,
somebody that's in that backfield on a flyer that maybe he'll be the guy?
Also, the guy knows me. right? Knows I cover the Jags, and he took LaQuint Allen one pick before my pick, and I had taken Chris Rodriguez a couple rounds earlier. Maybe he thought I was trying to I don't know. He was going to get me there,
Yeah.
But so I did absolutely forget LaQuint Allen went because he's not going to go in that spot. Now in Jacksonville, all bets are off, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Nate Borkicher will get picked or Tanner Cozy will get picked.
Time to time, yeah.
You're right. For every once in a while, don't be shocked. So anyway, just thought it was interesting that Brian Thomas was the first one selected, but no Jaguar until round 6. Travis Etienne went with the third pick of round 3, which is interesting. Now, fantasy and reality are not the same thing, right? ESPN did a ranking of the top running backs asking around the league, and Travis didn't fare particularly well, I didn't think, in that. So we'll get to that. But really, you want to get to the strength of this roster. That's what prompted today's question of the day. Mike Clay did a piece over at ESPN ranking the overall projected starting lineup for every team in the National Football League, had the Jags middle of the pack. So that led to our Chat and Sandy real estate question of the day. Which single position group do you think is the strongest? And as you remarked this morning with the drill, Tone, the one that Clay selected, I don't know if anyone has responded with that.
I haven't seen it yet.
As their projected best position group for the Jags. So we'll get into that when we return in a moment. ET is here. Fat Tony has returned. I'm Mike Dempsey. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
It's a Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Nothing says all-American like a great meal and a great deal. MyGate Rewards members. Grab any roller grill favorite, Lay's brand chips, and an ice cold Pepsi or Gatorade, all for just $5.50. The all-American meal deal only at Gate. See store for details.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Soccer fans, Michelob Ultra is going to pay somebody $90,000 to go to the FIFA World Cup 2026 final and bring the Superior Player of the Match trophy. Yes, I'm being serious right now. It's got some weight to it. This is the real thing, people. Michelob Ultra, $90,000. FIFA World Cup 2026 final. You watch the match, you get the honor of carrying the Superior Player of the Match trophy. That's a soccer fan's dream come true.
Enjoy the beautiful game with a cold Michelob Ultra, the official beer of World Cup 2026.
Celebrate America's birthday all this month with a dozen roses from Kuhn Flowers, only $49.95. Buy any color or color combination. A dozen roses, just $49.95 at Kuhn Flowers this month. KuhnFlowers.com.
Southwest Greens is the OG of artificial turf in North Florida. Stop mowing and start chipping or putting or just relaxing with a beautiful backyard, maintenance free. Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel and ONU alumni Michael Dargavel here. The hardest transition isn't deployment, it's coming home. Be part of the solution at ONU's Mission Possible Gala, October 17th at Sawgrass Marriott. For information and to register, go to onuvets.org. That's ONUVETS.org.
Checkmate. I'm Braden Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the Checkmate King.
The two most important factors behind a great garage floor coating are the preparation and the application.
So we prepare every floor with high-performance diamond grinding pads. But just ugly diamonds, right, Brendan? If we find any nice ones, I could use some crown jewels.
Sorry, Chester. Our special grinding pads use diamonds that are too ugly for jewelry.
But they create the perfect surface to bind with our multi-layer polymer coating for years of durable performance.
You'll have to pick out jewelry on your own time, Your Highness.
The term is Your Majesty, Brendan, but I'll let it go this time.
Perfect preparation?
Check. Expert application?
Check. A gorgeous new floor that sparkles like a diamond in your garage? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Jaguars Today
on 1010XL.
Hey, Tone, correct me if I'm wrong. If the Jags had the call against Travis Hunter officiated properly in the Cincinnati game, right, which the league admitted they messed up. They told the Jags afterwards, yep, that was a blown call. That would have won them the game because then it was kneel down time, right? There's no, well, this could no, you're not going to screw up the kneel down, okay? Yeah. We're not Joe Pisarcik out here, okay?
On the very, very rare chance that you fumble the snap.
Correct. It's not going to happen. So they win that game. They would have been the number one seed in the AFC last year. I believe they would have.
Maybe.
I think they would have been.
I can't remember what the math on that would have been.
The number one seed in the AFC last year. Now, granted, they did not beat Buffalo in the playoffs, no matter what their seed was. So that is the last impression you have of the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you got? You got the standings there?
I'm pulling them up, yeah.
All right. What do we got here?
14 would have got them to 14 conference record. I think they would have been the one.
It would have been the one seed. Because I know we were talking about this down the stretch. Like, man, if New England loses one more game or whatever, because they had the head-to-head versus Denver.
Yeah, they would have been 11-1 in conference play if they had gotten that win instead of that loss. Assuming everything else happens the same way. Yeah.
That's a stat we haven't harped on enough, right?
And the other two, the two 14-win teams were 9-3 in conference play.
So the Jags were a blown call away from being the number one seed in the AFC last year and 14 wins. That would have come with. Now, granted, they lost now, but as the number one seed, they would have had a bye. They wouldn't have been playing Buffalo in that scenario, and now maybe they would have been playing them the next week. Whatever, all right? So I'm not, what happened, happened. But I feel like everyone out there has the Jags as this middle-of-the-pack team.
Yeah.
And like, for instance, projected starters ranking at ESPN has them 16th in the league.
Yeah.
Okay? Saw a mock draft over at CBS. I just clicked on it for no other reason than to see where they had the Jags selecting next year. And it's sometimes they'll do those, well, this is based on last year's draft order. But this wasn't. They had them selecting 16th, which means that they missed the playoffs. Because only 14 teams make the playoffs and 18 do not.
Right.
So if you're picking in the top 18, you missed the playoffs, according to this projection. And I get what they're leaning into. They didn't do enough to improve their team. NFL.com graded off seasons. We were looking at, when you were out, I forget which site did it, gave the Jags a B for the offseason. I was like stunned, based on all the talk about how, well, they didn't pick the consensus players, blah, blah, blah. They lost Travis. They lost Devin Lloyd.
Hang on to in their offseason. So
right. And yet, we, because we're in the weeds with it every single day, we're we're going to get Travis Hunter. We're going to get Caleb Bransall. We get a healthy Wyatt Milam. We got this year's draft class. We have internal improvement coming. We found breakout players in Parker Washington and Antonio Johnson. We can lean into them even more all season long. We've got Jacoby Myers for a full year. We've got a continuing development between Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. Now, probably a lot of teams are counting on that internal improvement as well, but it just feels to me that you got a team that was an eyelash away and through no fault of their own could have been the number one seed in the AFC last year, and everyone's like, they're kind of middle of the pack. They're kind of middle of
That's
the
the way
pack.
everyone seems to talk about them, yeah.
It really is. So anyway, they did their projected starters for the Jags. I don't think there are any shocks here. They project, by the way, at running back, they listed Bajal Tootin. That's fine. Either way you go. Neither one is going to gain a whole lot of national credibility for you, right? Chris Rodriguez has been an okay player.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right. And Bajal Tootin is going into only his second year, didn't have this massive impact on the team last year. They do list 12 starters on each side, but they do it for multiple teams because I think that covers a lot of the different formations that you might use, right? That like they list Strange and Borkature at tight end as starters, but you're not going to list Borkature over Brian Thomas or Parker Washington or Jacoby Myers, so they have all three of those guys listed as well, with the usual suspects on the offensive line, including Cole Van Lanen, who may not be ready at the start of the season. Time will tell.
Yeah.
On
and
that.
kind of scrolling around, it looks like they list 2 tight ends for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
They list 4 corners and 2 safeties. Jags playing a 6-6 defense. Never mind a 5-6. Playing a 6-6 because they've got 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 4 corners, and 2 safeties, Eric Murray and Antonio Johnson. The corners, of course, Travis Hunter, Monteric, Jordan Lewis, and they list Jarian Jones as a starter there as well. Starting caliber, perhaps. But so anyway, they rank him 16th. Biggest strength on the team, E.T., have you looked at this article? I know you guys talked about it briefly on the drill this morning.
We talked about it, but I haven't looked at it.
Biggest strength on the team. Which position group do you think is the biggest strength for the Jags?
Honestly, man, I like the receivers.
I think I like the receivers at the top as well.
Yes.
And we're going to do a poll today, and I was going to put in receivers, maybe quarterback, because I feel pretty good about Trevor Lawrence right now.
Yeah.
You're not going to put running back in there.
No.
Offensive line is okay, but they're not top of the league good.
Yeah. Agreed.
ESPN went with edge rusher tone.
And I think that makes sense to me, too. Like, if you were just listing the players on the Jaguars roster, I think it's not necessarily the strongest argument, but there's a compelling argument to be made that their second and third best players on the entire roster may be edge rushers.
Edge rushers, yes.
Right.
But if you're going to ask most Jaguar fans, the majority of Jaguar fans,
you're going to say wide out.
But if you ask them this, which position group do they need to add more to? It's going to be pass rush.
Yeah. And
maybe it's because you can never have enough. But if that is your strongest position group, should that also be the group that you say, well, that's where we need the most help? Right? I mean, for a team that was as good. Now, if you're a 3-win team, that could be your strongest position group, and you might still need a ton of help at it because you just stink across the board.
And maybe it speaks to why are they 16th in the roster if that position group's the one, like, we can say both on it, right? That it might be their biggest strength and they need to add to it, right? Like, if the roster is strong enough that you can even have that thought in your head, right? And they still accomplished what they accomplished last year, why 16 across the entire league? Like, it just, I get, like, the Jaguars, to me, from an outsider perspective, they are a complete enigma for the entire football watching world. They're like, what do we do with this team? How on earth did they win 14 games? I think that's what most people look at them and say, why would that happen? And what can we look at them and say, well, that's why it's going to repeat going into 2026. I understand all the kind of naysayers when it comes to the Jaguars because I think they are a really difficult team to figure out exactly what their strength even would be.
I think they're looking at the fact that Devin Lloyd was second-team All-Pro and Travis Etienne scored 13 touchdowns. And you didn't replace them.
You didn't bring them back.
That's what everyone's saying.
Yes.
Okay, now the Jack. Look, we don't need to go through chapter and verse of what their plan is and their vision is because we've done that all off season long. But it is kind of striking to see edge rush listed as the best position group. And the next couple of guys they mentioned are Dennis Gardeck and Wesley Williams, offer depth. So that's fine. Biggest weakness, running back, which I get a lot of question mark. Weakness, I think. Room with a lot of question marks. It'll be determined whether it's a weakness or not. And the X factor for this year, Travis Hunter, fair, right? I mean, he'd be the X factor on just about any team he's on. And the non-starter to know is Caleb Ransall, which, second highest pick that they made last year. And most people feel like it's an Antonio Johnson show along with Eric Murray in the safety room at the top of the depth chart. So, it's interesting that it went that way because I'm with, I was going to throw that in there. I thought wide receiver would win the poll. So we just made it an open-ended question. What you think the best position group is? I would probably go with wide receiver because of the quality and the depth that they have there potentially. But we can continue to discuss that as we go along today. And we'll compare that to what NFL.com said, just absolutely trashing the offseason for the Jacksonville Jaguars in their latest posting, which, again, we're used to it by now. But they go in a little bit into detail, and I feel like they're missing a few things, particularly one comment that they made about Trayvon Walker. We'll share that with you when we come back on the other side. In the meantime, if you want to vote at MD_1010XL, just let us know which position group you think is the strongest for this football team. Projected for 2026. You can also hit us up on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures or the phone lines presented by Key Buick GMC, and both of those at 641-1010. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Your turn is next. Call it, text it, drop it in the chat. If you've got something to say, holler at Hacker. Monday nights from 8 to 10 on 1010XL.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
The Golf Club at Southampton is super excited for what's next, and that's brand new greens and plenty more to add to your golfing experience. While renovations are underway, you can still come out, hit the practice area, and keep your game sharp. Plus Thursday night trivia, always fun, and music on Friday nights on the patio. Check it all out at golfsouthampton.com or their Facebook page. Membership opportunity right now where you can take advantage of a great deal before the renovation is complete. Call 287-PLAY and check out the latest from the Golf Club at Southampton.
Frank Ranger here with Coach Delaney from Coil Fencing. You've been building winning teams at Fletcher for years. How does that correlate with installing fences here in Northeast Florida?
Well, Frank, at Coil Fencing, we like to take the coach approach. Implement a game plan and execute it on the field. That's been our winning recipe for 99 years.
And you tackle more than fences, right?
Absolutely. We also service and install automatic gates, perfect for multifamily communities, your business, or residents.
The best defense is a good offense. Visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Weather is as hot as can be, so think ahead. Get your backyard ready for football season with 15% off projects. Plus, get an additional in-showroom discount for both flooring and enclosures just for visiting. Maximize your space and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. If you have the space and the idea, call them today. Showroom's just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, what's the matter? I came right over.
It's my water, Jason. Smell this.
Yeesh. That came out of my tab, Jason. I'm worried there's a lot more in there than just H and 2 and O.
Well, yeah. In Jacksonville, we have some of the hardest water in Florida. There's calcium carbonate in there and magnesium sulfate and...
I'm sorry, calcium... what now?
It's the same stuff that makes those cool stalactites in caves.
Well, it's making my shower all powdery, my tabs all crusty, and caves make me claustrophobic.
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Call Bueller Air and Plumbing, and our water treatment experts will do a free water quality test. We'll check for minerals, bacteria, anything that might make your water smelly or damage your plumbing or appliances.
And if it's bad, you can fix it?
Your glasses will come out cleaner, your shampoo will lather better.
I like a good lather, Jason.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Now, more Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1 here on Jaguars Today. Quick moving. Tony Smith is back. ET filling in for RJ this morning. We'll be out there for training camp shows starting on the 29th. I think it's 7 total for Jaguars today. Drill going to be out there all those days?
I believe so.
I think that's the case.
I think everybody out there. I believe so.
I think it's us and you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going beyond
actual
that.
shows, yeah.
Because
but
at that
everybody
point,
will be out there.
You know what? Yeah, it don't make no sense. But yeah, I know for sure Jaguars today out there.
No, we're out there for sure.
But I think when the drill gets out there, the practice just starts maybe.
I don't think it's starting at 6 in the morning, but
I think it's like 9 a.m. is what practice.
Yeah, you'll be out there when practice is going on. We'll be out there as well, and hopefully you'll be able to grab some guests before practice begins, and we'll get some afterwards, as the case may be. But we're looking forward to being out there in what promises to be, an eventful season for this franchise. Moving forward, it's weird with the attendance and the pardon my dust atmosphere going on. And, we talked about it last week, I think, with O'Halloran. And like, there's still a decent amount of people that you run into are like, so they're in Orlando this year and next? Is that how that's working? Like, no, that's not how that's working.
Half
So
capacity for a year, then Orlando.
Want to continue to get the word out.
Which puts me very much in favor of, the expanded regular season, which I think is coming sooner rather than later. Can we push that back to 28, please?
Yeah, we don't need right. You think it's coming that quick?
I think it could. I don't necessarily expect that it will, but I think it could come that kind of quickly. But I hope it's at least after the Orlando year.
All right. So much like, I was going to say much like most of my report cards are decent. They were not filled with Fs, although I had my share of taking classes off along the way. I will admit, both in high school and in college. Yeah.
F is a harsh one to be handed.
F is like when I decide to not show up for the rest of the semester kind of thing.
Right.
And that's probably why I still have an occasional dream or nightmare, however you want to categorize it, of my third semester in college where I'm like, oh, man, I got a test today. I haven't been to that class in 2 months.
Yeah.
What's happening there? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
What class is
We'll
this?
see what happens.
So anyway, NFL.com gives the Jags offseason an F. Okay, now granted, this is done, and it will immediately be dismissed by many in Jaguar fandom because Matt Okada did this piece. Matt Okada's byline: NFL and fantasy content.
Nice.
You got fantasy in your bio. Jaguar fans are tuning you out. And
F for fantasy.
F for fantasy. That's what it is. But this is the one that stuck with me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. They allow Travis Etienne, Achane, and Devin Lloyd to hit free agency. Yeah, they did. They extended Trayvon Walker and Brenton Strange. They re-signed Monteric Brown. Those are the big moves, right? Now you can add Chris Rodriguez, but in a lot of years, Chris Rodriguez would have been like the 4th most interesting guy that the Jags signed because they were splashing money around because they, A, had cap space, and B, had all these needs. They didn't have as many. Didn't have a first-round pick either. But no offense, as you give him an F, he goes, no offense.
Okay.
MJD used to say, as long as I say no offense, is that what it was? No offense? No, it was no disrespect. Thank you. No disrespect.
Intended, but
you can say anything you want once you say no disrespect. You can flat out disrespect somebody after that point. No offense to James Gladstone and company, but this offseason hasn't been great.
Oh, no.
The Jags lost multiple key starters in free agency and added very little to compensate. Their biggest moves were pure maintenance. This is the one that gets me. Extending former number 1 pick Trayvon Walker, and then in italics, after a 3.5 sack season.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That is true.
Are you unaware why he was limited last year playing one-handed?
Mm-hmm.
And that he was a double-digit sack guy? Do you have any doubt if Trayvon Walker was a free agent that he would have gotten comparable or more? He didn't get – who was the guy?
We were all surprised when he signed the deal that they got it done at that number.
Correct.
Right.
Who was the guy that went from, I think, went to Philadelphia in an in-season trade and has never had like more than 8 sacks, and I think he ended up getting more than Trayvon in a contract extension this offseason. Who am I thinking of? It's a pretty easy name, too.
Carolina?
Wasn't the Panthers?
Did he go to did Carolina give him that money? But didn't he end up on Philadelphia at one point last year? Let me look at the Panthers. I'm just drawing a blank, and as soon as I see his name, I'll be like, yeah, that's exactly who we were talking about. But anyway, it was like, no, because he went from Carolina, I think, to Philadelphia. Now I'm looking at the wrong.
It was Jalen Phillips, wasn't it?
That's who it was, Jalen Phillips, right? And I think if you look, he was with Miami at one point.
Yes. He left Miami and signed with somebody and got crazy money, but really ain't have no type of production.
Yeah, 4 for 120.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
4 for 1. So he got 30 a year.
Yeah.
And do you have his Pro Football Reference numbers up by any chance?
I can pull them up.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever had double-digit sacks in a season. I don't see many people ripping apart the Jalen Phillips contract that was given out last year. I just, you got to wonder, and first of all, you don't have to pay any attention. Yeah, why did I think he had an interlude in Carolina for some reason? Went from Miami to Philadelphia in season last year.
He was split between the two.
And then re-upped with then he signed with the Carolina Panthers this okay, that's what it went.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Got the big deal because he was the big name free agent on the edge market this year.
And he had 8.5 sacks as a rookie and has gone down ever since. 8.5 to 7 to 6.5 to 1. And those are a couple of injury plague seasons. Then he came back, played 17 games, had 5. Then he played 17 games and had another 5.
I was just looking at it because I had the Trayvon Walker numbers up in front of me a moment ago just to look at it. And, I'm committed to the QB hits, and half of them resulting in sacks is about what you expect it to be. And so I had just looked at it with Trayvon, and I think he wound up with 13 quarterback hits last year in the 14 games that he wound up playing, plus he was playing hurt for a lot of that time. I compared it to what he had been doing previously. His high has been 19. As far as quarterback hits in his career, I think there's a pretty compelling argument to be made that he was set for his best season as a Jaguar last year if the injury hadn't derailed it, right? Like, you can look at some of those numbers, and then I look at a guy like Jalen Phillips. He had one season that he's gotten 20-plus quarterback hits. He had 25 back in his second season in 22. He had 7 sacks that year. The 8.5 sack season, he had 16 quarterback hits. He had 14 quarterback hits in 17 games last year.
Right.
He was hitting the quarterback as much as Trayvon Walker was last year.
With two hands.
Played more and healthy.
And had only 1.5 more sacks playing with 2 hands.
Right.
So, again, I haven't seen a whole lot of critique.
And got to play half that on Philadelphia.
Right,
and
where there are other threats and, and all that goes along with it. There's great defensive tackles. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting, man, to like, this is your critique that after a 3, like, should they have let him walk? Trayvon would have gotten more than Jalen Phillips, I think.
Yes.
On the open market. You factor in age, and they're both fairly young guys, but Trayvon's been more productive. He's as Tony Baselli would tell you, he thinks he is the best run defender in the entire National Football League at his position.
Yeah.
Easily into the 30s. So it seemed like an economical deal, but I don't know if there's that much nuance in that NFL.com article. And again, more bulletin board material. You want to give us an F? Give us an F. Liam Cohen loves it. It doesn't really matter. We can all say A+, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I think I looked through the other teams. I think I found 3 Ds across the entire league. Green Bay was a D- on their offseason, which, for whatever reasons you want to put that. And then 2 in the NFC West wound up with Ds. And it was Arizona was a D-. Yep, D-.
They probably hate the fact they took a running back third overall.
And Seattle was a D+.
And I'm kind of torn on the take a running back that high when you're a team that's that bad. Like, this can be the identity of your entire offense.
Yeah.
You give this guy the ball 340 times, running and receiving. But then again, do you use up the best years of that guy's career in an era when you're not going to be that competitive, right?
Yeah.
Particularly when you're looking up and you're like, oh, look at the Rams and Seahawks. Oh, they're in our division as well.
Yeah.
This is going to go well for us here.
Yeah.
So, and San Francisco, which is a
And
candidate
if you want
to
to
be
know
a bounce
why
back team.
the Rams are getting the hype they're given, their grade was an A, right? Which is going to happen when you're willing to trade for Garrett, right? Everyone's going to love your offseason if that's the big
Not
move.
only that, Trent McDuffie as well.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I give them a pretty high grade, too.
Absolutely.
For what they got, even with the Ty Simpson draft pick in there. Myles Garrett trumps the Simpson draft pick. So,
Yes.
All right, 1 hour in the books. Just, again, we're used to it by now, but it won't be the last of people trashing your offseason. There's really nothing you can do about it until you get a few games into the month of September. Now, lose to the Cleveland Browns, everyone's going to go, see?
Absolutely.
And that would be a not a good harbinger of things to come.
We'll all be getting nervous, too, if that's how it works.
Right now, thank you. Myles Garrett's gone. I don't care if you play Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders every snap. You can play 12 on 11. I feel pretty good about beating the Browns out of the gates. I'm sure they're biding their time as well. All right, as we get into hour number 2, John Shipley, who joined me in studio last Wednesday, had an interesting piece on the holiday weekend. 5 reasons why the Jags will triumph over the Houston Texans in the AFC South, including one key stat that we probably have not harped on enough. We'll get into that in the second hour. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Hear everything you need to know about Duval's home team every day.
I didn't see a lot of blitz. You got 4 deep guys
on the home of the Jaguars, 1010XL.
Today, we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Noah.
My first car was a 2001 Dodge Neon with a blue wing, and it happened to match my high school sweetheart, who's now my wife, her black 2005. So my uncle has been in the industry for well over 25 years. He recommended Rock Auto immediately to buy my first set of brakes. I would recommend Rock Auto just because it's simple, it's easy to find the parts you're looking for, it's all at a good price.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
For 250 years, Americans have valued freedom, independence, and peace of mind. This month, Duck Rooter is helping homeowners enjoy a little more of all 3. If your home's plumbing is constantly leaking or causing costly repairs, save $250 on a whole home repipe or redrain during our America's 250th birthday celebration. Get the reliable plumbing your family deserves with trusted service and upfront pricing. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hey, I'll be home in about 10 minutes. Actually, make it 8.
Hey, Mom. Yep, I'm walking home now. Mom, I'm trying to cross, but I don't think this driver sees me. No, they're driving too fast. Mom!
Speeding catches up with you. Early, on time, a little late, just get there safely. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Imagine this, you and your buddies outside enjoying the warm weather. The grill is fired up, steaks are sizzling, drinks in hand, and you're all hanging out around your brand new outdoor kitchen. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can make it happen. From custom outdoor kitchens to fireplaces, fire pits, and more. They bring your backyard dreams to life. You dream it, they build it. Visit CSSFireplaces.com and make your backyard the place everyone wants to be this season.
I've spent 20 plus years around scoreboards, and here's what they don't tell you. Every number up there is somebody's story. So when I heard a number last week, I had to sit with it. Hacker here, Paige from Awaken 180 told me their clients just lost 1 million pounds. $1 million. That stopped me cold because I know exactly what my 120 was worth. Moving better, feeling better, down from over 300. Now multiply that feeling. My 120 is stacked in there with somebody's first 10. Somebody's knee that finally quit barking. Somebody stepping on a scale this morning and pumping their fist in an empty bathroom thanks to Awaken 180. That's not a stat. That's a whole stadium's worth of hometown wins. The scoreboard's still running. A doable program, a plan built specifically for you, coaching that adjusts as you go, and free support for life. 1 million pounds down and counting. The next win should be yours. Awaken 180weightloss.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods. San Marco, Avondale are the shops upon Avedra.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update sponsored by AB Signs. Jago Line ranks 28th in USA Today's latest list, solid but still lacking. The same starting five returned with rookie Emmanuel Pregnan, pushing for a needed boost up front. 3 jumbo shrimp homers weren't enough. Jacksonville fell to Nashville at First Horizon Park. After today's day off, the Shrimp open a 6-game set with Durham on Tuesday night at 5 Star Ballpark. At your 1010XL local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson. At 11:07, it's 88 degrees. Your time and your temp is brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller. Stay tuned because there's one more hour of Jaguars today, and it's coming up next right here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, more Jaguars today on 1010XL.
You know, yeah, I don't remember anybody's birthday, but you recently had a pretty big milestone birthday, didn't you?
Your boy did have a pretty big milestone.
40 is the new 20?
Big 40 ball, and I don't know about if it's the new 20.
Uh-huh. 40 for E.T.
Yeah, no, right? I remember I was a young whippersnapper, eyes wide open, running Jaguars, and then I'm an old 40 just trying not to fall, Mike. Just trying not to fall.
You're an old 40. Right, bro, I'm telling you. I told you that you and I bonded over some conversation
years ago.
A few years back. Like, just don't fall. The older you get, don't fall. It's the worst thing you can do, man.
Man.
You know, like, I feel like in a car wreck, like, you kind of see it coming sometimes. You got a seatbelt on. You got airbags.
Uh-huh.
You fall and you stick that arm out awkwardly to try to brace your fall.
Now you got a broken arm.
Now you got a broken arm. That's how I broke my arm like that in college.
Yeah.
I did. It was crazy. I was like literally flipped upside down in the air because I didn't have cleats on. I was running on a wet field with sneaks.
Yeah.
And I planted to go, just throwing the football around. I planted to go up, and it was like, wing, and I was upside down, and I fell on my left elbow and blew my humerus.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're
apart.
like, man, I should have just fell.
Yeah.
Like, don't even try
Just
to
right.
break.
I just kind of tucked in.
You'll just be
I don't know, but
you'll just be sore.
I'm thinking don't fall on your head would probably be the worst thing.
Yeah.
It's more like you get to the age where you look around and say, I don't want anyone else to fall. Right? Like you get to the age where you're worried about other people falling too.
Now I'm more worried about me.
Right? Like that's real wisdom. It's usually people you know. I had it the other day when I was over at my parents' for 4th of July. They had their dog. They were walking to the porch. We were saying goodbye. And the dog walked between my mom's legs. And it pulled the leash a little bit to the back of her leg. And I was like, Mom, please move the dog. I was like, I don't want to watch you fall on the porch because the dog is trying to move. And so my dad grabbed the leash and everything was fine. But I do, like, once you get to the age where you think falling is a real risk when you're moving around, you're like, that may cause somebody to fall.
Right.
Like
Man.
you recognize it.
My father-in-law passed away last year, but before he did, like when Notre Dame Navy played in Jacksonville, how many years ago was that? I don't know. It wasn't that in the last decade, right? Something like that. Thought this is the greatest thing I've done for my father-in-law. He went to the Naval Academy, right? And so he graduated there, was in the Navy for 30 years. I got the in-laws, including him, and my wife and I, tickets to the game, like sweet ticket, like, bam, this is going to be amazing.
Like in the suite?
In the suite, you know, where you can go outside, you can watch it out there, but, you know, you're a little older, you want to come into the AC, it's all good.
Because I didn't know if you was doing sweet SWEET tickets, like
no, they were sweet tickets. Okay,
right.
double sweet. All right, both sweet. And he tripped on, like, I don't know, a curb, something.
Yeah.
Walking into the game,
I can see
fell, hit his head. We never made it into that game. Never, no, had to go to the hospital. I mean, you know, like massive contusion. Yes, bro. I mean, we were right there. We were 50 yards from the gate.
Never made it into the game.
Never made it into the gate. And just tripped like right out there, like on the walk towards the Jaguar statue right there. So, yeah, it don't fall. It's key. Anyway, John Shipley wrote a piece, good friend of the program, on I thought this was hilarious, and I get the style it was done in. He's looking at 5 aspects of the other teams in the division and coming up with 5 reasons why the Jags will triumph over that team based on those 5 aspects. Number 1 on the list is C.J. Stroud. How great is that, right? That C.J. Stroud is like the biggest reason when you compare it to what, you know, where the trajectory of Trevor Lawrence is right now. And granted, these things can change in a heartbeat. Yeah. No question about it. But, Tone, if you scroll all the way to the end, his conclusion is, look, Jags still should be considered the strong favorites against the Texans. They went 1-1 against them last year, but in going 1-1 against them, and he said the Texans didn't lead the whole time. Well, he's off by about 30 seconds, right? He said they didn't have a lead until the final play of the game. No, they tacked on a touchdown on the final play of the game, but they had taken the lead with like 31 seconds to go. So for one whole game plus another 59 and a half minutes of the other game, Texans never had a lead against the Jags last year. Jags had a lead against the Texans for over 45 minutes in those 2 games. And, of course, in that game, which was the last one they lost in the regular season, Travis Etienne, Achane, scores a touchdown with a minute and a half left to go in the third quarter to put them up 29-10. Can we just not play against backup quarterbacks going forward? I mean, Davis Mills carved us apart, including the rushing touchdown with 30 seconds left. I mean, I just feel like, you got the Jake Browning performances, you got Chad Henne when we had him pinned at the 2-yard line.
Oh, that haunts me.
Bro, like, I feel like if the Jags could just play the guys that they game plan for, they'd be a lot better off. Am I wrong?
I feel like you're likely wasting your energy to plan for the backup in a game that you're going into with the starter healthy.
Probably so. And that, in all seriousness, when you look at today's question today, what's the strongest position group for the Jags? That is the one hesitancy to put quarterback at the top of the list because. And you could probably have the same excuse for most teams around the NFL.
Yeah, that's an NFL issue.
Who's got a backup that you feel anywhere good about? Yeah. That can get you through a month and go 2-2 against, relatively evenly matched competition.
Yeah, you'll have a little bit of that with teams. And look, Jacksonville has had plenty of years where you felt this way about it going into the season. It's like, well, I'm not sure who the starters should be. I think it should be X. I think it should be Y. Like, if you're that kind of team, then you're like, I wonder what the backup's going to look like.
Right, but then usually your starter's not high-end enough for you to feel like that's the best position.
But once you got a guy who is the guy, you kind of, and I get it, we've had the discussions about the backup quarterback situation here in Jacksonville, and I look at it and say, if they get to that point, like, that's the way I feel, because I think the guy that they have at the top of that list gives them a chance to beat everybody.
Everybody.
Right? And so if he's off the field, you're not going to find somebody else that makes you feel good about beating anybody. Okay. That's life in the NFL. It just doesn't work that way. Maybe the roster's good enough to keep you afloat. That kind of thing. The coach is good enough at doing what he does to keep you afloat.
The USA played a man down, right? 10 on 11 and added one last week.
You're just not going to be what you could be without that guy. And that's a NFL truth. Without your quarterback, you're going to be going, how do we find a way?
And it can happen, obviously. Backup quarterbacks have to come in and win games. You know,
Absolutely.
Davis Mills did it.
He did.
Would you have any level of confidence that Nick Mullins could do that? Now, it doesn't mean he can't, but I wouldn't have a level of confidence that he
would
could.
have, my confidence is tied to how I feel about Cohen.
Okay,
right? Like
put
I
him
feel,
in position.
Right,
and-
like I feel good about that guy in that kind of position. That doesn't mean that I feel great about whoever's going in there for him.
Put it this way, I would think there was practically zero chance that if we're down 29-10 against anybody with 16 and a half minutes to go, that he's going to pull us out of that. Okay,
I agree.
Starting off with a game plan, full week of practice could be a different story with Liam
It's
Cohen.
not like I'd be super hyped if it was Trevor playing in that situation.
No,
like, it's just
of course not. But at least we
ridiculous
have seen
but,
Trevor
yeah.
pull off.
We've seen it happen.
Multiple big comebacks.
Yeah.
But
it meant a whole lot more than a divisional win when
correct,
he did it. Yeah.
Correct. All right. We'll come back. Scouts, executives, coaches rank the top running backs for 2026. Don't expect to see your Jags on this list with understandable reason, but I think some of the placement of some of the names is noteworthy regardless. And we'll kick it around. I think we're kind of all circling wide receiver. I don't want to speak for Tony. I know ET and I mentioned wide receivers, what we thought was the strongest position group for 2026. We'll look in on social media, see what you guys are saying about it as well. That's our Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Keep it right here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Mike Dempsey once again for DraftKings, which is live in all 50 states. Of course, that means the great state of Florida. Win or go home, that is it. It's the World Cup knockout round, and DraftKings has you covered for every single match. The DraftKings app is now live right here in Florida, so whether you're catching the early kickoff or maybe tonight's late match at the bar, at home, wherever you are, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. And it's all right here in Florida. The world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up using code 1010XL. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Is this heaven? No, it's the great before. This is where new souls get their personalities, quirks, and interests before they go to Earth.
1010XL.
Hey guys, Prosser here. When you need new windows or doors, you want high-end quality without the middleman markup. That's exactly why I'm telling you about Cash Building Material. Same premium materials, same beautiful finishes, but at a price that actually makes sense for your home. No subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. Get a quote today, thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Jaguars Today Monday is built by Dream Finders Homes.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
ET here for Encore Research. What if the next medical breakthrough started with you? Clinical research volunteers play a vital role in helping doctors better understand diseases and develop future treatments. This summer, discover how participating in a clinical research study can advance medical breakthroughs while empowering you to take an active role in your own healthcare journey. Are you ready to learn? Check them out at EncoreDocs.com. Together, we're building a healthier future for Jacksonville.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Film study and preparation, injuries and fan expectation. Get the perspective of an elite athlete. Patrick Young has breakfast with the drill Friday morning at 8:30. Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and Kuhn Flowers on 1010XL.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
In Jacksonville, we love our sports. You might say we flip out over them. Football, baseball, soccer, hockey, basketball, golf, and there's our outdoor game, fishing, surfing, and just chilling. There's so much to do, it will make your head spin. But keep your cap on because Visit Jacksonville has you covered. Check out visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jax app and stay on the ball for all the upcoming sports events in Jax. Go local, go sports. Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida.
At the Y, there's no place like this place. More than just a gym, the YMCA is a community where support, connection, and your well-being come first. And now, getting started is easier than ever with Your Rate, an income-based, affordable membership designed to fit your lifestyle and your budget so you can focus on what really matters, feeling better, moving more, and connecting with others. Join today and discover a place where you truly belong. Learn more about Your Rate at fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
Some interesting responses, Tone, and I haven't seen every single one. I'm still not sure I've seen anybody mention defensive end as the best position group on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right. I got to say, real quick, with ET coming back with this particular song, with y'all spending the entire break talking about LeBron and where he should or shouldn't go, the timing on this song couldn't have been better. ET forgot about Dre. Yeah.
I just randomly, I was like, you know what? I just want to play this. There's no reason I even picked this song.
Yeah.
ET and I agree. Neither one of us wants to see him on the Sixers. That's a little too much of a talent infusion in one off season. How you feel about the new look Lakers, by the way? Are you a Laker fan,
no,
really? You're just a LeBron.
I'm a LeBron fan.
You're wherever
Right.
LeBron goes.
And that's why I wore my 2 LeBron Laker jerseys last week, because I'll probably never wear them again. They're now throwback.
I got you.
We'll see what's next.
I got you. R.J. Saunders has to stick with the Lakers as one of his teams. He wears a lot of Magic gear.
He does.
He does wear a lot of Magic gear. And I get it. He does the Magic podcast and all that stuff. We were a Magic affiliate and all that. But what have you?
Yep.
Doom says, dude, I worry about my parents falling all the time when I see them. And how about when you don't see them? You know, like I don't want to get that call. Like my parents have shuffled off this mortal coil. God rest their souls. My father-in-law had passed away, so my mother-in-law's going strong, man. And
y'all play golf and all that together.
Well, not with this wing right now, but we played once this year earlier, and the shoulder was hurting so bad. I'm like, that's it. I gotta get it done. I gotta figure out what's in there. Thank you, Dr. Kaplan, on the road to recovery. Knocking on wood here. It's been going pretty smooth. But yeah, she's 86 years young.
Jeez.
And right up until last year, I mean, we play several dozen times a year together. I mean, and just enjoy. She hit it right down the middle. Tink, tink, tink.
Consistent.
Doesn't go super far, but she'll kill you on those par threes now. You know, she gets to play some of those par threes from like 85 yards, you know. You know, and she'll hit like, I don't know, like 7 wood, but whatever. It's she does her thing. But she had a fall not too long ago and messed up her knee. You know, it's just one of those things, man. To stay upright.
Oh yeah.
If you possibly can. We'll get to let's put off the deeper discussion about the strongest position groups to take a look at running back here.
Sure.
Tone. ESPN doing positional rankings all around the league. And by the way, I don't know where the Jags wide receiver core is even going to fall. Even though we like their receiver core, I feel the strength of the Jags wide receiver core is that if you include Travis Hunter in there, your 4 deep is as good as anybody's 4 deep. Like your third and fourth guy can hang with anybody's, but we don't have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams as our starters.
No.
You know, and I think that these rankings will lean more into the top of the depth chart than they will the overall depth of the position.
Well, yeah, and they're picking individual players, right, for ranking the top 10. It's
That's
not the
true.
running back rooms. So I wouldn't expect the Jaguars to be – I would expect that they would likely make the list if they were doing the wide receiver room. but I don't think any of their
That's a good
guys are
point.
going to be in the 10. I wouldn't even be surprised if none of them are honorable mentions.
I think
on that
Brian
list.
Thomas would have been and I don't know, maybe they had this last year. Maybe he would have been an honorable mention. I don't think he did enough as a rookie to definitively say, oh, he's a top 10 player.
Right.
We had the hope that he would continue along that path. By the way, tomorrow's cornerbacks. You can't really expect to see Travis Hunter in there either. Hasn't played much at cornerback. You got to have a little proof of concept. Not shocking. I heard the drill going through this morning. Very similar to what you see in a fantasy draft, right? Top 2 running backs in the league, Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs, Robinson, Gibbs, whatever. Saquon third. You're not going to see that as much in fantasy as you will in reality because Christian McCaffrey is going to jump up ahead of him, but McCaffrey's fourth on this list right now. By the way, if I knew for a fact that McCaffrey would play every game this year, still take him number 1.
That's a bad boy.
He is a bad boy, but he's 30, and so you try to mitigate. Like I feel comfortable if I had the 6th or 7th pick.
Yeah.
Didn't 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. I'm still taking the young legs, man. All right, I'm going Bijan. I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor came in 5th. Had a tremendous year last year. It faded a little bit, but the pace he was on last year was hard to sustain.
Absolutely, yeah.
Throughout the full year.
He was about to do Saquon the year after Saquon did Saquon.
Yes.
Right? Like, that's the way that it looked for Taylor for the first half of the year.
Taylor, 69 career rushing touchdowns, second to Derrick Henry since 2020. Derrick Henry is 6th on this list, 32 years old. Derrick Henry had 4 more 20-yard runs than any player in the National Football League. So I guess age is catching up with him? No.
Yeah, 5.2 at 29 is
5.2 on 307 carries. It wasn't like we'll dial him down to $160, keep him fresh for, give him 10 carries a game. No. He had 300, and does he fall off the cliff this year? Maybe, but no indication. 17 runs of 20 or more yards.
We've been waiting a couple of years for that cliff to show up for
I think the greats are the greats, man.
Yeah.
And those guys, you kind of have to throw the
marvel
age
at it.
curves
Yeah.
out the window to some degree
Yeah.
with those guys. So Derrick Henry came in 6th. James Cook overshadowed by Josh Allen. Some will say he's the second best running back on the Bills.
Yeah.
Whatever. James Cook comes in 7th.
Had a great year.
Devon Etienne, which I'm calling him now, because if Travis Etienne, then Devon's got to be called Etienne. Devon Etienne is 8th. Kenneth Walker 9th.
That's weird.
You go back to mid-November last year. Where would Kenneth Walker have ranked on this list? 17th?
Right, yeah.
If there.
I mean, he was a nice player, and then he was a workhorse, and he came through.
He's fantastic in the playoffs.
And he got paid accordingly. Still only 25 years old, Kenneth Walker. So he's got some tread left on those tires. And then Breece Hall, talking about a guy whose career is just being wasted on a go-nowhere franchise.
Yeah, well,
now.
they never get to play the style of game where he can actually do anything for you.
Last year, he was an honorable mention. Last year, Kenneth Walker was others receiving votes. And that is kind of the 16 through 20 group that they list. So he would have been in that range last year. So this year's honorable mentions, Josh Jacobs. So in the order they list them is usually the order of how many votes they got, right? They're polling executives, coaches, scouts, what have you, anonymously. I have a lot more confidence in this list than I do the NFL Top 100 list.
100%.
Which, by the way, Jeffrey Simmons is the 83rd best player in the National Football League. And Jalen Ramsey is better than him at this stage of their respective careers?
Wow.
Yeah, he's only the best interior defender in the league, and he's 83rd on your list. Okay.
Prisco had him in the teens.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the 20s, but it was low 20s, certainly in the top 25. And I think that's, hate to give any credit to any Tennessee Titan, but the guy is a freaking game
Monster.
Monster. So Josh Jacobs at 11. Kyron Williams of the Rams at 12.
Okay.
Quinshon Judkins, did he do enough to earn the 13th spot here? They say, according to an AFC executive, runs incredibly hard. Faster in the open field than you think. I think he's going to have a big year. So a little projection there. Okay. Also receiving votes. So, again, in the order that they list them, because it's not alphabetical.
Nope.
Judkins was 13. So 14 is DeAndre Swift of the Bears. 15 is Javonte Williams of the Cowboys. He had a really good year last year. and is primed to have another one. Chase Brown, who, I don't know, as a pure running back, that seems like a reasonable ranking, but as an offensive weapon, you're so good in the passing game.
Yeah.
Probably deserves to be higher. He's 16. Ashton Genty, who we were going to build this team around at one point, it looked like, right? During the lead up to last year's draft.
Really weird rookie year. Yeah.
He did. He comes in 17th.
Yep.
Travion Henderson. Is Travion Henderson the best running back on his team?
Maybe.
I mean, Ramondre Stevenson outperformed him easily last year, right? So he comes in next. So that leaves me at what? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 before you finally get to Travis Etienne or HN Jr. Whichever one you want. So 19th among running backs. By the way, one spot ahead of Alvin Kamara, who everyone thinks is dust.
Yeah.
Like, he's done.
Yeah.
He's dried up husk of what he used to be. And you brought in Travis to replace him, basically, or at least front load that running back room. I feel like that is like more in line. Like if you just look at the numbers from last year, people are, oh my gosh, they lost 13 touchdowns. They lost all this production. And they did for the Jags, Tone. But Liam Cohen and company talk about the stink in the running back room. And it's not just on him, but he's the one they changed out, right? And certainly weren't going to pay him $14 million a year or whatever he's averaging from the New Orleans Saints. But I feel like it's interesting because on the one hand, ESPN will say, well, you lost this guy and it's catastrophic to your offseason. And then they'll say, well, he's just an average guy, slightly below the middle of the pack among starting running backs.
Yeah, I'm curious because they're going to be doing a position a day, basically, for the next couple weeks on this. I think it's corners tomorrow and then edge rushers on Wednesday.
Yes.
And I'm sure Josh is going to be on that list somewhere. I don't know if he'll be in the top 10 necessarily, but he'll be mentioned when we get to that group.
I don't even know if he'll be honorable mention. He'll get
votes.
He will. He'll be others receiving votes.
I bet he will. But by the way, we can go find where Brian Thomas Jr. was on that list last year. I don't expect he's going to be on the list this year, but I remember him being mentioned in that group last year, and he was high enough on the list that they had a blurb about Brian Thomas Jr. before they got to the others receiving votes. So we can go find that when we get into the break here in just a moment. But yeah, like it makes sense to me that running back would be this kind of list. I don't expect any other of these lists to look like this when you get to the others receiving votes. Like, it's just a weird group when you get to the others receiving votes there.
Honestly, I think other than edge rusher, quarterback is the one to keep an eye on to see how they feel about Trevor
He's their
Lawrence.
best chance to have a top 10 guy for sure.
And that comes out on July 13th. So, as you said, they're rolling out
And
one
I don't think
position
he's a
day.
lock to be top 10.
Oh, no.
But he's got
not
a
lock.
chance to be.
But I think that he, coming off the year he had, may be the highest-ranked Jaguar at his position.
Could be.
Which is funny. Again, we're talking about a blown call away from being the number one seed in the AFC. But nobody's good on this team, right?
How many years when these kind of lists would come out, it's like, I wonder where Brandon Linder will be among centers. Like, what's their best chance
Will he make the top 10?
to get a guy on a list? Yeah.
All right, we'll come back and look at today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. What is the strongest position group for the Jags? And if we disagree on it, who are the contenders? Which position groups are the contenders for the strongest for Jackson? We'll look at some of your responses as well right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Summer on the First Coast.
Well, I'm above in the sun and I'm having fun.
Is sensational. That's the sound of sunshine.
I got my toes in the sand, all I need is
1010XL, your summertime fun station.
It's here, Middleburg. Firehouse Subs is now open at the all-new Clay Town Center. Try the bold new steak and cheese melts, stacked with premium steak, melted cheese, and big flavor in every bite. Firehouse Subs at the Clay Town Center, open now.
Dream Finders Homes Monday on Jaguars Today.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialist. I'm Robin, the owner. My team provides expert service, done right the first time on all makes and models, plus a nationwide after warranty for total peace of mind. Action Transmission on Merrill Road. Get traction, call Action.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mokama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mokama has the perfect pair for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mokama.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now is the moment we've been waiting for. With new treatments emerging in the fight against Alzheimer's and dementia, now is the time for hope and action. Held in over 600 communities nationwide, the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is the world's largest fundraiser for care, support, and research to fight the disease. So get out, get moving, and join the Walk to End Alzheimer's, November 7th, downtown Jacksonville. Join the movement at alz.org/Jacksonville.
Attention skilled electricians, are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Jaguars today
on 1010XL.
Hey, we got that golden moment right now. Why don't you fire up the golden moment if you can dig that out of there.
Now, the Monahan's Golden Moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
That's my guy right there. Golden moment is Tony Smith, E.T. in my field division. Haven't seen you guys in a while.
Yeah, it has been a while since this little threesome.
Threesome got together. I would say really the specific actual moment was E.T. going, is that today?
I was like, huh?
When I asked him, are you producing the program? Is that today? Yes, it is. Just think, next Monday, you'll be free and clear at 10 o'clock, baby.
Now, I know one of these days, I think I'm doing it all week.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I think so. That's why I was like, is that today?
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, look forward to that.
We're on Baby Watch, so we're doing some producer shuffling.
Yeah.
JJ Baby Watch. Yeah. Yes. When do we have a due date on that? Like a specific
Mid-July.
Yeah.
Mid-July.
All right, so that's coming up in a hurry. E.T., you went with wide receivers best position.
Wide receivers.
Why do you feel that way?
Like, what did we have like 3 guys with over 700 yards receiving last year?
Sounds about right.
And, we didn't get a full year with Jacoby Myers, who was truly underrated. Parker Washington, he's really breaking out. BTJ, if he can get back to that rookie season, and then you add Travis Hunter, maybe? I think that's definitely the strongest position, the strongest room.
You've certainly, Travis Hunter's an option, without question. I think if you asked, and we have in the past, Tone, which wide receiver is most indispensable? Could you least afford to go without? Is it Brian Thomas because he stretches the field? Is it Parker Washington because he came on and really was the focal point of the passing game?
So good at
so
the end
good.
of the year.
And, man, the few OTAs I was at, I was like, man, Parker getting the ball all the damn time out here. Now, granted, it's OTAs, just the running drills, but he and Trevor seem to still have a great connection. Is it Jacoby Myers because of the sure-handedness and what he brings, as a steadying influence? And in a world where if he weren't playing corner, you could certainly make the argument that Travis Hunter's the most talented one of the whole group. So
absolutely, yeah.
I think that's where the strength lies. It's not that any one guy. By the way, you looked up, where was Brian Thomas last year in those ESPN rankings?
13.
And they were talking about he can do it all. He can run any route. He can catch any. He can hurt you in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Going to be much higher on next year's list.
Yeah, I said he's going to be in the top 10 next year is the way that we're talking about it. Didn't quite get there.
Didn't quite get there, right? Bounce back season incoming. Let's hope. What way would you vote for best position group?
I think I would wind up voting for wide receiver, but the other position that I would really debate hard in my mind, given the front line of it, the way I feel about it is corner.
Okay.
I think Travis Hunter playing a lot more on the defensive side of the ball. I think he has a realistic chance to be a top 5 corner in the league this year. That's how special a player I think that he has the potential to be. And if he's going to focus on that side of the ball, you look at the rest of that room. We saw the impact Jordan Lewis had in his first year here in Jacksonville. I think Monteric Brown is great.
They obviously think he is.
Right, and I think Jarian Jones being the 4th corner in this room is as good as the cornerback room has looked in how long, right, with the potential of a guy like Travis Hunter at the top of that depth chart. So corner would be the other position that I would think about, but I think it's a little bit different than the wide receiver room in that it's not like if they lose this guy, they can replace him with X guy. I think it is top-heavy in the cornerback room, so I would lean towards wide receiver for that kind of reason, but I do love the cornerback room.
You
this
could
year.
add the fact that Jabbar Muhammad might have been the buzziest defensive player of the offseason, right? In terms of, now, it's easier to exceed expectations when your expectations are not as great as some other positions.
But he's certainly a guy that we're going to have all eyes on once we get into camp.
Right.
What is this going to look
and
like?
The bottom of that depth chart, there's a real battle, as to which guy's going to make the 53? Christian Braswell's going to be in the mix. They've got options down there. I would say receiver was the runaway winner today. We didn't do it in poll fashion, so I can't give you the percentage. I didn't add it all up and do the math on it, but receiver was definitely the one. Here's some other ones. Cornerback got mentioned. The secondary as a whole got mentioned, which is not a position group, but corner specifically. It's Ian D. says, the toughest question I could think of, a legit reason to think corner and wide receiver. But what if I said offensive line? I think they've improved on that front, especially if Cole Van Lennon's healthy and Pregnon pushes to start, or Patrick McCary is going to feel Pregnon breathing down his neck and play better. Again, the Wyatt Milam skip over is in full effect right now. By the way, Pregnon has been playing, and granted, it's only the offseason. We haven't put the pads on. That's when separation will occur with this group. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
But he's been used as a left guard, not a right guard. And, yes, you can flip guys around, but I don't think Ezra Cleveland's given up that spot this year. And I do think Milam's year of experience here gives him the leg up over Pregnon.
There is so much as far as opinions on the entire roster. I don't think it's painted any more clearly than the discussion that we have about offensive line. Then how does winning color your opinion on the team? Right? Because you can go back to last offseason at this time, we were like, who's the 5? And are any of them any good?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way that we felt about that going into the season last year. A year later, we're like, we can go 9-10 deep. You kidding? Somebody gets hurt, we're fine.
Right. And not, again, that they are a top 5 unit?
No, I don't even, I think Anton is likely their best offensive lineman, but I don't think he's some world beater. At offensive tackle, but we all feel really good about the group. I don't disagree with looking at it and saying we can go 8-9 deep and feel okay about this group. It's, again, one of those things where how long has it been since you could say that about this franchise, that they could go that far on a depth chart on the offensive line and you'd be like, we'll be okay. It just doesn't happen very
you're right.
often.
I think there's, in a way, there's more excitement for two guys who are not slated to start right now. It's those two guards, like they're the future Manawai and Aioli, hopefully, of this offensive line in Milam and Pregnon. But let's see, this one, Cristiano sends greetings from Brazil, said quarterback. And again, if you're talking about the one guy, I might have more confidence in Trevor Lawrence right now having a big year than any other player on this team. That's me personally, right? Like
I probably would too.
Travis Hunter at corner, that aspect of it, because I don't know what his usage will be on offense. I'd put him in the conversation. Certainly put Josh and Trayvon in the conversation as well. And Foye always gets overlooked because he's just continued consistent excellence, and it gets boring sometimes.
But I think there is something to the direct connection to the head coach in the offense like that. I think it does color that kind of thing. Like, who am I most excited about? The guy who's in the hip of the head coach the entire time. Like, these two guys working together, whatever level of excitement you have about the Jacksonville Jaguars at this point, it has to all be being fed by coach, quarterback.
Yep. And people might say, hey, if we didn't have Liam Cohen, you wouldn't feel that way. But we do. We do have Liam Cohen, right? My understanding, he signed a multi-year deal to coach the Jaguars.
Yeah. Not to insult you, but like if you didn't have that coach, it's like, but we do.
But we do have that coach.
Right.
And I do think that is the single player I'm most excited about for 2026 to see if Trevor can A, stay healthy, but B, hit the ground running in September. Don't wait until midseason to get on one of those streaks where you're one of the top 2 or 3 best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
And, can you carry where the offense was in the second half of the year to a full season? And if they do, and all these people are saying they had an F of an off season, it's like, all right.
They did everything they did last year with their quarterback not picking it up till halfway through the year.
Basically. Yeah, that's it. That's the thumbnail on that. All right, we'll come back with some final thoughts on the day as we wrap up Jaguars today. Glad you're with us here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Renewal by Andersen is celebrating America's 250th anniversary by giving $250 off every window and door. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. You're getting American craftsmanship and their signature service. This offer ends July 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
When the world turns its attention to the beautiful game, the most passionate fans know the best seat in the house isn't always in the stadium. Modelo celebrates football and the world of nations playing for the cup. 48 teams, 104 games. Wherever you choose to watch, make it the best seat in the house with a Modelo Especial in hand. It's time to play for the World Cup.
What was the original name of The Who? The answer coming right up.
Just letting your homeowner's insurance renew each year may cost you money. Shop around and you may find a better plan. Let Southern Oak Insurance give you an option at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The original name of The Who. High Numbers.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hey, this is Tony from Tony D's New York Pizza. You believe I've been making pizza here in Jacksonville for over 20 years? Thanks for the support and good times. We appreciate your business, and we're looking forward to another 20 years. Come out and see us at Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller. Hey, pal, what's the matter? I came right over.
It's my water, Jason. Smell this.
Yeesh.
That came out of my tab, Jason. I'm worried there's a lot more in there than just H and 2 and O.
Well, yeah. In Jacksonville, we have some of the hardest water in Florida. There's calcium carbonate in there and magnesium sulfate and...
I'm sorry, calcium... what now?
It's the same stuff that makes those cool stalactites in caves.
Well, it's making my shower all powdery, my tab's all crusty, and caves make me claustrophobic.
Put on these sunglasses.
Whoa.
Call Bueller Aaron Plumbing. And our water treatment experts will do a free water quality test. We'll check for minerals, bacteria, anything that might make your water smelly or damage your plumbing or appliances.
And if it's bad, you can fix it?
Your glasses will come out cleaner, your shampoo will lather better.
I like a good lather, Jason.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Prosser here. Who are you? Really? 1010XL wants to know. Just by filling out the listener survey on 1010XL.com, you could win Jags tickets to the home opener, Gator football tickets, Jumbo Shrimp tickets, and more. All you have to do is tell us more about you. Fill out the 1010 listener survey at 1010XL.com. What kind of vehicles do you drive? Are you a business owner? What part of 1010XL do you like the most? We want to get to know you better so we can serve you better. Go to 1010XL.com, fill out the survey, and you could be a winner.
The mosquitoes are out in full force. Before they ruin another cookout or pool day, call the experts at Royal Pest Services. Their mosquito and outdoor pest treatments target mosquitoes, gnats, and other nuisance bugs so you can enjoy your backyard. Royal Pest Services. Take back your yard.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
An eclectic musical group today. Selection right there. Song of the South, Tony.
Yup.
Sweet potato pie and shut my mouth. Good. All right. Where are we at here? Tomorrow, I believe RJ will be back. RJ will be like, is that tomorrow? What? I don't know. 100%. Along the way. Tomorrow's Tuesday Top 5. We're going to go with the ESPN current depth chart, which, you take it for what it's worth, okay? They've got Jack Kaiser listed as a starter on there, but
okay,
overlooking that, because they wanted to have a strong side linebacker, that's who they went with. Fine. Overlooking that, we're going to go with the 5 best non-starters, or the 5 non-starters will make the biggest impact on this team, and that's offense, defense, right, for the most part. At least this way, because somebody put today, strongest position group, special teams. Well, that's not really a position group.
No.
It's a phase of the game. If you thought, if you could argue the strongest position group is kicker. I mean, you got a phenomenal kicker, or punter, or long snapper. But we were more focusing in on offensive and defensive position groups this time around, and you seem to adhere to that. Give us the 30-second recap of Jackass, the latest movie.
Yeah,
Final
I'll say,
installment.
like, they did play a bunch of old skits. It was kind of like a greatest hits in their own opinion of what they did, but the new sketches were a lot of fun. I will say that there was a lot of fun stuff. It was cool to see Bam back on the screen a little bit. You remember the sketch from the 4th movie where they did the Silence of the Lambs, the dark room with the snake in the van
when he went through like a 15-inch window?
No. With the where they had the room and they shut off all the electricity. Like, they put guys in, slammed the door, and then they shut off the lights. And there was a snake in a bucket, and then they knocked the bucket over and pretended like there was a snake loose in the room, like a rattlesnake. When they did it for the 4th movie, I was like, this is a Bam sketch. He's so
definitely
scared,
afraid of snakes,
right?
yeah.
But apparently he filmed for that movie, but it didn't get into the movie because of whatever was going on between the two sides. It was kind of cool to see Bam doing that, and the opening sketch of the movie is bananas. It's absolute bananas. Right. It's like the first thing they filmed, and it was them shooting themselves with a gun.
Tony's like the one guy who's like, Jackass, I got to see that on the biggest screen possible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I will
I've
definitely
seen all
wait
5 on
till
the
that
screen.
hits streaming.
Yeah, I've seen all 5 in the theaters.
Fair enough. You like what you like, and nobody should tell you any different. All right, let's welcome in XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Big Sirs. Hello.
How you doing, gentlemen?
We're doing quite well.
All right.
Always good to see you.
Happy belated, E.T. Appreciate Birthday. it, big fella. You got it, baby.
Big 4-0.
Big 4.
That's. I remember my mom turned 40. She hated that back in the day. She did. I remember as a kid when she turned 40, she was like, "Oh, this is terrible." I'm like,
really?
Who cares anymore, man?
Yeah.
It's just a number.
It's a number.
Although you hear about that guy. What's the guy who sold his company for like $800 million, right? And he's got like a whole raft of doctors. His goal is to be like the longest living human, right? So he monitors everything. Now he's got some stomach disease where his stomach is eating himself from the inside out or something like that. So like Doesn't matter how much you put into it, man. When the Grim Reaper's coming, it's coming.
Time doesn't get beaten by anybody.
It's
it
undefeated.
Wins.
You might battle it to a draw for a while.
Well, yeah.
I don't doubt better medical care helps you, but it if you got something that's going to go, ticking time bomb inside of you, it's going to happen either way. Anyway, that's cheery thought. Sirs,
how do we on that one?
What about a little World Cup?
We got a lot of World Cup, and then PFF has his top 10 quarterbacks. We want to see where Trevor lands.
All right, fantastic. I guarantee you will be looking at that tomorrow on the program. Sirs, have a great show.
Appreciate it.
All right, XL Primetime coming your way for the next couple hours. You're not producing that one too, are you?
Nah.
Not that you're aware of. At this moment in time, anyway. Good to have you back in, E.T. Always a member of the Jaguars Today family. And, of course, good to have Tony Smith back, at least for a few days before his next staycation coming up all of next week. All right, that'll do it for us today. For the aforementioned, I'm Mike Dempsey. Thanks for tuning in to Jaguars Today. Tuesday, Top 5 tomorrow. Looking at top 5 guys coming off the bench for your Jaguars in 2026 right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Don't do it, Emmanuel. Do not do it, Emmanuel.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 10